A new discovery by scientists means that pregnant women could be diagnosed with postnatal depression before they give birth.
Well, with an average of 1 in 10 new mothers being diagnosed in the UK, a new blood test that uses cell activity to detect the condition during pregnancy could prove vital to many mums-to-be. Well, Dr. Sarvan Subbulsian was a senior author of this groundbreaking study, and I'm pleased to say joins us now from the States. Very good morning to you. This is all about RNA research, isn't it, which some of us became familiar with during the COVID vaccine rollout, this new concept of sort of cell analysis. Tell us how it's being applied to pregnancy and postnatal depression.
So essentially what we did is we looked at this thing called extracellular RNA communication, and what we've done up to this point is that we've really looked at what's inside the cell, but there's a lot happening outside of the cell. So cells release these things called extracellular vesicles, and you can think of these as little rafts or little vessels that carry RNA and protein between cells. And so this is a way that cells can talk with each other. And what's become evident is that this is really important during pregnancy. So this is a way that the cells from the mom and cells from the baby can actually communicate with each other. And we know this is important because when this communication is messed up or, is that it's faulty, it causes disease. So things like preterm birth, preeclampsia, which is high blood pressure during pregnancy, and gestational diabetes are all associated with abnormal levels of extracellular vesicles. So we decided that we wanted to look at these mRNAs that are in extracellular vesicles in postpartum depression. So what we did is that we looked at moms during the pregnancy and 6 months after they gave birth. So we did this in blood samples. And what we found was the mRNA levels in EVs are actually hugely different during pregnancy in moms who went on to develop postpartum depression. And this is very exciting because exactly like you said, is that this is a way that we may be able to predict who's going to develop the disease and develop all sorts of early interventions.
That's fascinating, but is it possible to rule out that it's not just a causal link, that these women that develop things like preeclampsia or early gestational diabetes have problems and therefore they're more likely to have, postnatal depression?
No. I'm sorry, is that what I was trying to say is that extracellular vesicles are involved in this. In our study, these women did not suffer from gestational diabetes or other issues. So, this is a process. It's science. There's always something new. So there's these extracellular RNAs that we didn't really know about. And now we're looking at them. And, they're involved in all sorts of things associated with pregnancy.
So this could be turned into a blood test that women could take at the start of pregnancy, and that would give them an indication as to whether they are more susceptible to postnatal depression. That's
the goal. Right now, what we're doing is that we have a test that is looking at thousands of different mRNAs. And, and it's very expensive at the moment. So what we're trying to do is to narrow it down to 5 to 10 mRNAs that we can measure at a cost-effective rate that could be implemented in a clinical setting. So that's our goal right now.
And do you think there is an appetite for people to know? I mean, we were just discussing amongst the ladies in the newsroom this morning whether you'd want to know if you had a predisposition. Personally, I would want to know because I think forewarned is forearmed, and you can build in some of your, postpartum period with therapy or making sure you've got lots of support. But some of the others were saying, I wouldn't want to know.
I mean, I would say that there's all sorts of screening tests for cancer. There's cancer screening for breast cancer, skin cancer, prostate cancer. And, it's a tool for people, and you can choose not to do it. And what we want to do is make the tool available for clinicians and women who are concerned about this. Right now is that they do not have such a tool. That's our goal.